140.
Mensur. Can't produce a 161, would have been flashbacks to the World Championship, that credible check out against Michael van Gerwen. But Price for an 11 darter again to break the throw. 12 will do. And again, it's 3 legs on the spin now that Mensur Suljovic needed 12 darters to win them. Already he's putting pressure on Mensur Suljovic, who's not been dreadful. He's averaging 90, but it's not competitive against this.
140.
Probably needs to fill it up.
140.
Can't do it. And that leaves a tricky finish. But it may be irrelevant. Oh my. Well, imagine. It could have been 3 legs running where Mensur Suljovic had thrown first and Gerwen Price had won it in 4 visits to the board. As it is, he can win this one in 5 visits and win the match with a 6-1 victory.
94.
It has been ruthless.
Game shot.
Top class, world class brilliance from Gerwen Price, who sees off Austria's Mensur Suljovic with so little bother he may as well have not been there. Well, he might be going out to Christian Perez in his first game on the Pro Tour.
135.
Brilliant leg of darts this from Mervyn King. 180 followed by 135. Leaves himself on 46 for another break of throw. And 94. He's bossing this game. To trusty double 16.
Game shot.
Oh, this is the Mervyn King of old. Where's this been all year? Well, 2 visits from here for Ross Montgomery to avoid the whitewash at the very least. Oh, dear me. I think Ross is feeling the same.
29.
Rob Cross is out. Christian Perez, what a welcome to PDC darts that is.
80.
A 6-5 victory against the 2-time European champion who will be representing England at the World Cup next week. Ross Montgomery to avoid a 6-0 bageling.
96.
Drags that dart low just as he did on the 114 combination. Mervyn King. Treble 17. He's not missing double 16. He's not missed it at all in this game. Mervyn King with a 6-0 battering of Ross Montgomery.
Before that, Michael Smith got the better of
100.
Richard Vainstra.
Yeah, we've seen Gerwen Price average 113 in his opening game here, and Mervyn King wins 6-0, which is something that hasn't happened well, for a long while, to be honest. Mervyn King has got a fight to keep his professional status. Look at this double 16 for a 1-2-1 finish from Chris Landman.
Game shot.
Oh, what a dart. What a leg. 1-2-1 taken out for a 12 darter. All 8 legs have gone with throw in this one.
I could be on something rather smaller after these 3 darts.
He is on something significantly smaller. Madars Razma may get a look at the 111 to win the match, or he may not. Is that in? No, it wasn't.
83.
Just to wrap it up then. No, you won't be doing it in this visit, so Landman 55. Returns for 87. Should get at least a dart at the bullseye.
20 segments, leaves the bull, and Chris Landman misses a dart to force a last 62. Leg decider. Madars Razma, this entire experience must be so stressful for him. He knows he has to have a good couple of days here in Hildesheim if he's going to get to the match play. He's been second best for large portions of this game, but he might be about to beat Landman 6-4 again.
Game
and
shot
that's
and a match.
exactly what he's done.
that's awesome.
For the second PDC Players' Championship event running, Chris Landman loses 6-4 to Razma in the opening round. And with the way that Radek Szaganski is hitting the trebles, I mean, I can sort of... I think it's a lack of thinking that's left in 168, but I can sort of understand just piling away on the trebles because you feel you can outmuscle your opponent.
You can see Hall, they're not happy with the first start, stopped, reset, tried to make the adjustment and then over-adjusted, went to the other side of the treble 20. So this really is
16.
the opportunity for Szaganski to get the first break of throw, and the way he's been playing on his own throw, effectively this could be the match.
Probably needs another.
83.
Does not get it. Radek Szaganski might fancy having 2 visits from here. He might only need the 1. It's double 16 again. And double 16 is there. Radek Szaganski does make the breakthrough, does get the break of throw. He will throw for the match as he looks to put in another impressive display on the Pro Tour. If anybody
58.
on this board is going to stop Gerwyn Price, Radek Szaganski arguably looks the most likely.
101.
He's in form, he's playing the best stuff of his career, and this is the sort of display that can worry even the world number 4.
58.
Starts down to leave 45, and it's back to that favoured double. It's been there
70.
for him so often. It'll still be there for him after these 3 darts from Graham Hall, and it would be a fitting way to end what's been a very, very strong showing from Radek Szaganski.
95.
The pole to get it done. That'll do it. A 6-3 victory. A little bit of revenge dished out for Graham Hall as Radek Szaganski gets one over on the man that beat him 6-3 in their only other meeting. It is another very impressive display.
'93. '57.
Well, a rare little trip around the board there from Mervyn King, opting for various targets. Gerwyn Price just wants another one of those, and now he wants double 4, and he hits it almost inevitably to lead this match 3-0. This is a man, of course, we know who has won many of these Pro Tour titles in
97.
PDC darts. 6 Players' Championships, a UK Open qualifier, and of course a European Tour back in 2014.
'83.
Does he fancy a bit of fun? You bet he does. Oh, absolutely divine darts from Gerwyn Price. Didn't even need to produce such a party piece finish, but he fancied it. Well, that could be all she wrote. It won't be, because Price has got a touch of the kings there.
39.
It's been a real mismatch from the beginning to the end.
59.
In truth. The king struggling under the sweltering heat of not just the weather,
56.
but the status and power of his opponent, the Iceman Gerwyn Price, who has throughout
58.
the match remained ice cool. And
Game
does
shot
so again to find that double 10, to complete a real demolition job on Mervyn King. Oh, a little bit of a look there from Mervyn King. Well, what kind of pressure can he apply?
100.
When he leaves himself a slightly better finish than Razma. We're starting on the 16s here. And now, well, he might have to go double-double. Went for tops first, failed to find
48.
it. Ends up leaving that double 18, which is his preference. But Szaganski gets 2 at 10s.
Game shot.
And Razma there got himself into a little bit of a mess. Radek Szaganski is punished, and you can see it was almost head on hands time. A little bit of a moment for Madars, but still no certainty he'll win this leg. Szaganski is going to put himself on the brink of victory here. Madars Razma finds himself in check. Is it going to be checkmate? It might well
80.
be, because Szaganski is going to get 2 darts to win this match. They're at tops. This one's at 10s.
36.
And that is 2 darts for a place in the 3rd round, gone begging. We'll get all the theatrics again from Madars Razma, determined to stay in this match. Well, this time choosing double 16. But not finding
12.
it. Surprised so often he'll go to double 18 where he really needs to finish. Opted against that on that occasion. Double 5 for Szaganski now.
Game shot.
And he gets there in the end. Well, he's won the match 6-3, and in doing so has really hampered Madars Razma's chances of making it to the World Match Play in Blackpool.
But it works.
93.
Didn't quite work there. This pair meeting for the 2nd time, and the first time they met, Szaganski actually won, didn't he?
100.
It wasn't a great game. They both averaged in the mid-80s, but he has a 100% record against Gerwyn Price.
Leaves him 140.
All that work to leave 140 and he goes and hits a big 1.
118.
But the recovery skills are brilliant.
$41.
This game is changing.
Game shot.
Gerwyn might be dismissing Radek Szaganski's challenge. That's a sensible play right there.
Needs a treble to leave a finish of any kind.
100.
Gets one.
Yeah, but 143 is just one of the most awkward finishes. Probably won't get a shot at it. And doesn't.
And
just too good, Gerwyn Price. And he's into the last 16. Radek Szaganski with a very solid run to the board final. But ultimately, he does lose to the Iceman. Sorry, Ryan.
What's also interesting when you look at old youth tour tournaments is the players that have sort of disappeared and haven't progressed. So you have to give credit for these 2 players just for being here playing in a professional event.
Yeah, a lot of people who come through with promise on the development tour, you think that the world's going to be their oyster. It's not the case for everybody. And that is a really good chance missed by Killington. It shouldn't have been that sticky and it shouldn't have been a bull. But it is double 10 for Connor.
Game shot.
And he snaffles that up. 3-3.
Really interesting. We saw you can see the anger from the killer. It certainly is worthy of
what
some
a story. He's in the last 16 against Karol Sedlacek. His debut Players Championship. And he's doing brilliantly. He's taken out Luke Woodhouse. I know we're lagging a little bit with that match, but if he goes on to have a massive run today, it will send reverberations to Asia. It really will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to mention the fact that I'm sure his friend Lawrence Ilagan is watching on, hoping he does really well. Confidence of the Philippines going into the World Cup will be sky high, just like Connor's with a 5-3 lead.
What Connor Scutt's done in this match. Killington was holding the aces early in the game, but Scutt has taken control in the middle portion and then just put his foot down on the gas.
And by putting his foot down, he's given himself the best possible opportunity of making the quarterfinals. He has been the better player in the match.
And this will win the match.
Game shot.
Does win the match. And once again for George Killington, who has a show of respect for his opponent. He falls at the last 16 stage. Still that elusive quarter-final. I'm sure it will come, but it comes today for Connor Scutt.
Chris Dobie on the other streaming board with Chris Murphy and Dan Dawson. And this match here, which saw Damon have 5 treble 20s out of 6 at the start of this leg. Scoring very heavily. And even with that maximum, Price cannot get to a finish. Double top for the halfway point.
Game shot.
And there it is. That's really clean. Recently, he met some of the Australian cricket team, did Damon Heta. It's a mid-90s average game, but you can't take your eyes off it. And this is a chance for 5-2. It's the bullseye. And he hit a really key bullseye in his previous game to get to 5 legs.
99.
It was a perfect line, but he can't find the centre this time. Top of the shot for Price.
77.
He's missing chances that you don't expect him to miss. And this is where Heta has to pounce. Pounce he doesn't. There's no way that Price thought he was coming back for 10s. And was it the fact that he didn't expect to come back that made him miss?
Game shot.
5-2 Heta. And is he starting to get the knack of how to defeat Gerwyn Price in these kinds of games? The heavyweights have come to the fore in the quarters. Another for Price and 5-4.
80.
It's another chance for Heta, but it's another big ask. And maybe that one was just a little quick. Trying to stay in his scoring rhythm.
83.
He wasn't too precise on that secondary dart.
Game shot.
And we now have a 1-leg cushion. This is the leg where Heta will probably have to win it. Doubling. If you go down to any Dart Players Australia event or anything in the Oceanic region, they say, how was your pegging?
140.
That means, how was your doubling? So, Damo,
100.
how's your pegging? He wants to leave his favourite double. And that's what happens when he leaves his favourite double. The best double 16 combination shooter, arguably on the planet, gets the win by 6 legs to 4.
Well, one of the secrets to Gary Anderson's longevity is the fact that his throw and his stance and everything is one of the most easy
134.
around, but for long periods of playing can cause issues. I don't think it is an issue. We've gone on a big tangent there from him shaking his arm out once. But Heta eyeing up the 20 segment again, and he misses it entirely, and that allows Gary Anderson a chance for a break.
That's where you look at the big 20 and just guarantee the shot. It's easy for me to say it from the commentary booth, but even Damon knows that that second dart was an error.
Is it an error that will be punished? Double top will punish. And double top is found by Gary Anderson, who opened up a little bit of daylight.
Damon, when he's won those last 3 meetings with Gary, has had daylight.
And he's playing so well at the minute, even if the scoring isn't quite as good as you expect it to be, he's still able to win.
His 140 plus scores all day have been much better than everybody else, though. That's where he's been making his money. And as soon as we start talking about it, he hits a maximum, of course.
Well, the title he won here a few months ago was his first PDC title for the best part of 3 years. And Gary Anderson, where's he looking? Troubles? Well, okay, he didn't need to do this. But he does it anyway. Gary Anderson, 180, 1-2, 1 out, 12 darter and a 4-1 lead.
Because Price hit 10 dart leg.
Well, it does look like Michael Smith is booking his place in the final. He's played precious few Players' Championship events this year. This is only his 5th, but he's just gone 6-3 up on Connor Scutt.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Connor's going to make his first final, but in his second semi, that will give him some confidence. It is 6-3 Smith, and he might still get it done.
Game shot.
But Gary only needs 1 leg.
Of the final.
In order to make the final, Damon's going to have to do what Gerwin Price did to him
58.
a couple of years ago in a final, in going absolutely bonkers in the last 5 legs.
92.
And you can't see it happening unless this 170 finish is found.
Well, it'd be some shot to stay alive. But it might just be a stay of execution. Bullseye. And the Aussie #1 takes it out. He is not out of this just yet. But how many more heroic acts has he got? He might need more.
I don't know, because of how his darts behave now. He throws very differently to what he used to. And that one skews away into the 1. It's not the worst 1 in the world. It still leaves him on a finish, but I guarantee you, he wanted to be on 81, not 140.
Where does he want to look here? Goes to the bullseye, doesn't get it. Probably comes back. Probably, but not definitely. Match dart. And Gary Anderson seals it with a brilliant 140 finish. A 7-3 victory. The former World Cup winner beats the reigning World Cup champion. And the Flying Scotsman is through to the final of Players' Championship 13.